My name's Dave Coles. I'm the Executive Director at Legacy House of Bountiful. It's my pleasure to introduce Calley Robinson as one of Western State's Personal Touch Award winners. Destiny is a really special mother. She has 3 children that have special needs. She has Stephen, who is autistic, and another daughter at home who she takes care of. Destiny's son got really sick, and she had to take him to Primary Children's Hospital. Stephen actually had gallstones and became septic, and Primary Children's had to put him on life support for a little while. Destiny and Calley have been good friends for a long time. When Calley found out that Destiny's son was sick, she jumped right into action. The first thing she did was take Stephen some comfortable clothes while he was in the hospital. The first night Stephen was in the hospital, Calley took a really comfortable blanket and Legos into Stephen because Stephen really likes Legos. Calley went and picked up Destiny's daughter and took her down to visit Stephen while he was in the ICU. She then had her write down a grocery list so she could go pick up groceries for her while she was staying at home. Calley kept checking in on Destiny every day, seeing how she was doing, and did whatever she could to help make this easier for Destiny. Because Stephen was sick, Destiny had to take 2 months off of work. Calley was a tremendous help to Destiny at this time. Calley even spearheaded setting up a Venmo to help Destiny out. Destiny's had a really rough year. She doesn't have a lot of family support to help her through this. Calley continues to be a tremendous support to Destiny. She continues to support Destiny as Destiny has lost her father and her sister since then. Destiny shared with me that she always felt Calley's love and protection during this ordeal.
That was one of the hardest times in my life. And at times when I felt completely lost, not knowing how I was gonna manage my daughter at home alone and my son in the ICU, you stepped up. You were there when I needed you. I'll never be able to thank you for that in words. I just hope that you know how much I love and appreciate you.
I love you too. I'll always be here for you.
Calley, congratulations for being an annual award winner for Western States. You are such a rock star, and we are so grateful and thankful for everything you do for the residents at Legacy House in Bountiful, the staff, and even myself. We love you, we appreciate you, and are so grateful that you're a part of our family here.
Hello, my name is Carolina Semstrad. I'm the General Manager at the Hampton Inn, Cottonwood, and I'm so excited to announce Dominic Milburn as one of this year's annual Personal Touch Awards winners. So a few months ago, there was a family staying with us here at the hotel, mom, dad, and 2 boys, preteens. Mom was here for work, and they stayed here for a week. And at the first day that they came down for breakfast, they immediately bonded with those boys. They have low level of autism, so they kind of need a little bit more encouragement to open up, and they started talking, and turned out the parents said that the boys were kind of bored already. Utah hotel, mom is out all day at work. So then bonded with them immediately, and he actually hired them to be our breakfast attendants. Their shift started every morning at 9:30, and Willie and Henry were up in the morning at 9 a.m. getting ready for work. We gave them aprons and name tags, so they became official at one point. They started working. They helped in the front of the house. They kind of helped with the tables, with sweeping, and then after their shift ended, Dim actually split his tips between the boys. After they were all done, he took them to our treat shop, and they could choose a treat as well as a reward for helping and being awesome. The greatest part of this was how parents were grateful. They never saw them that happy. They said from the dragging of 5 days staying away from home and being out of their comfort zone, they became so comfortable here and they loved being here. And they said they appreciated how Dim approached that, and he treated them like they were just regular boys and they just want to have fun, and he made them feel so special and so welcome here. We got a letter from the parents saying thank you for them and for everything they did, and they actually stay in touch. They are still talking, and the parents actually called them and say the boys really want to come back and they want to see you, so let us know when you're at work again. All right, Dominic, thank you for everything. I am so excited. You are the annual awards winner. You deserve that more than anybody. I'm so grateful for your friendship, for your kindness, for everything that you do every single day, how you take care of our guests and how you take care of your coworkers. It's been my pleasure working with you and becoming your friends. You are kind and selfless, and you're just so special, and you make a huge impact on everybody, and you want to make me to be a better person every single day. Congratulations.
My name is Scott Lunt. I am Regional Director of Hotel Operations, and very happy to announce that Nancy Foster is one of our Personal Touch Annual Award winners. This is a story today of both tragedy and love. Nancy, who is our General Manager in Rochester, had one of her employees who works at the front desk, his name is Milton, come into her office one day, and he was distraught and said, "Hey, I've got a problem. I just found out from my father in Georgia that my sister was just murdered." And Nancy's going, "Oh my gosh, tell me more about it." And he said, I'm gonna need some time off." And he walked out. And Nancy could tell he was in shock, and he went home for the day. And the next day he came back into her office and said, "Nancy, I'm really gonna need some time off here. I've got a big issue I've got to deal with." And he said, "But I've got a problem. My car is busted. It's not working. I can't drive. That would normally be what I would do. It's a long drive, but that's all I've got. I don't have enough money for a flight, but I am gonna need some time off. I gotta figure this out." And Nancy jumped in, being the great general manager that she is, and said, "Look, I probably have some points with Delta that I can certainly donate to help you get to your family." And he said, "Oh my gosh, that would be fantastic." Nancy looked at her points and she said, "I've got enough to get you there." And you have to know, this was a real sacrifice for Nancy. She has 2 daughters that live in Utah. Those points are typically set aside to get her daughters back to see her, or her to come to Utah to see her daughters. So it was a big sacrifice. So she donated the points. Again, it wasn't enough. A few months earlier, Nancy had instigated a swear jar in the office, and they had collected a decent amount of money. It still wasn't enough to complete the purchase of the ticket. She talked to the rest of the staff, and they all pitched in and came up with enough money with her points to get him there and back. And so it was pretty fantastic. I do have a quote that I would love to read from him. It says, "Looking back, I could not ask for a better place to work. Our culture is something I feel at home in, and this is my family. I want to grow old with y'all. Thank you for touching my heart and letting me be there with my dad and family to bury my beautiful sister who was taken way too young and way too early."
It's weird. It's not like coming to work every day. It's like I'm going to my second home to hang out with my friends, and it meant a lot. It meant a lot.
Nancy is the perfect example of personal touch. She lives it in her everyday life. She lives it with her family. She lives it with her work family, and she lives it with her guests. Just want to point out, this is Nancy's second Personal Touch Award that she has won. Nancy, I've known you for a very long time. I hired you as an intern right out of college many, many years ago, and you and I have worked together off and on in different capacities, and there is no one that I can think of that deserves this award more so than you. Like I said before, you exude personal touch in everything that you do. Congratulations.
I'm Liberty. I'm the property manager of Green Hill at Riverdale, and I am so excited that Will has won the annual Personal Touch Award. Will was out on the property one morning doing grounds, and he saw our resident Greg looking really anxious and concerned and walking a little bit funny. Will, being the great guy that he is, stopped and checked in with Greg, and Greg told him that his belt had broke. He was really concerned because he didn't have another one, and trying to go get one was causing a lot of anxiety for him and the difficulties of trying to get on the bus to obtain a new belt. So Will said, "Hey Greg, why don't you just go into the office and I'll be in there in just a minute." So Greg came into the office and he looked really distraught and stressed, and we asked what was going on. He said that his belt had broke and asked if we had one for him, and we said unfortunately we didn't. And he's like, "Oh, well, Will sent me in here." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And he said, he told me he'd meet me in here. And so we kind of waited a minute for Will. A few minutes later, Will came in with the belt and he had Greg try it on, and unfortunately it was just a little bit too big. So Greg went to hand the belt back to Will, and Will said, "No, let's put it back on. I can mark a spot and put a spot in it to see if we can make it fit and work for you." Greg sat down with a cup of coffee and waited for a few minutes, and Will came right back with the belt. So Greg tried the belt back on and it fit perfect. And Greg went from having the worst day ever, being so stressed, to just happy as could be, thrilled that somebody would be so kind to help him. Will's the best. He always takes notice of things that are going on within residents' life or on the property, and he does what he can to help and is always so kind and thoughtful, and will come in and tell us what he sees or notices. Half the time he doesn't tell us things he does, he just does them, and then the residents tell us. This just really speaks to Will's character and how amazing of a person he is. Will, congratulations on winning the annual Personal Touch Award. I am so excited for you. You make such a difference here at the property with the on-site staff. You're a great member of our team, and you also make a big difference in all of our residents' lives. Congratulations.
I'm Ed Perks. I'm the Executive Director here at Legacy Retirement in South Jordan, and it's my pleasure to announce John Christensen as one of this year's annual Personal Touch Award winners. His day is filled with driving residents to appointments and to friends and to get their hair done, all kinds of things like that. We've got a resident named Shelley that he drove out to an appointment in downtown Salt Lake several times a week. It was to a blind school, the Salt Lake Blind School. She'd been diagnosed with a disease where she's losing her eyesight. And John was always impressed with how upbeat she was, even with this dire diagnosis. So he'd drive her out there every week and chit-chat with her. And John noticed that Shelley wasn't going to class anymore. She had missed a couple weeks. And so when he saw her around the community, he'd asked, why aren't we going anymore? And she told him that at her school, the teachers there had told her she wasn't progressing quickly enough, and that the spot needed to be given to somebody that was going to progress more. And the problem was that she didn't have a computer to practice. She only could practice at the school, and then wasn't able to practice here at her home. And John's gears got working, and he got thinking that he had access. He has a son-in-law who has some access to an IT department, and they come across used computers all the time. And so John got together with his son-in-law, purchased a little computer for her, and so she was able to practice here at home. Wonderful thing that now she progresses now. She's got her spot. She continues to go to the school and learn to read and write Braille and use a computer in Braille while she still has sight, before she loses that. John's a great guy. He's so friendly and knows, we've got maybe about 175 residents here, knows everyone by name, spends time with each one as he goes in and out of here and drives them to and fro. He's spending tons of time with them and gets to know all of them. He loves to stop and talk with them and the residents and the staff. A great thing about John is that he's a retired Forest Service worker, and so he loves to go to the mountains. And he takes every Friday, he'll take a couple bus trips of residents on hours-long drives through the mountains, and they come back in that afternoon and just gush about all the trees and all of this and all the deer that John showed them. So they love him, we love him, and he's a great, wonderful asset to Legacy. John, I'm so happy for you. You're a wonderful part of Legacy here. The love you have for the staff and for the residents here shines through. You could have won this award a million times over. Congratulations, you deserve it.
Boom!
I love it.
I am so happy that the Hampton Inn Cottonwood won this year's team award, and I'm really, really excited to see who is going to win it next year. Here at the Hampton Inn Cottonwood, we have an amazing team. They make all of our guests feel like at home. They create this environment here as guests check in, or if they stay with us for a short time or longer time, make them feel extremely welcome. They take care of them, and that especially shows during our skiing season. Amir is our amazing chief engineer here at the Hampton Inn Cottonwood. We all know that Amir has been away from his family for over 15 years, and he did not have a chance to celebrate the way they do at home. Some of our team members found out that his birthday and the Persian culture's New Year is in March, which was one day apart. He was always missing that part of being here. So the girls came together and they did their research. They Googled it, what is the Persian culture? How do they celebrate it? And they found out that there are special customs for that celebration. They prepared a table which had 7 different items on it. One of them was a goldfish. There was a cake, there were flowers, there were green apples, there was sumac spice. And all of this is meaningful. All of this means something to celebrate and start the new year for Persian culture. The following day, Monday morning, when he came back after his days off, they all hid in his office. And when he opened the door at 7 in the morning, they did a huge celebration for him. And he just could not believe what other people could do for him. And it was so meaningful for him. He actually took out his phone and started calling his mom and taking pictures. And his mom told him, "You have something so special there. Don't ever leave this place because you will never find it anywhere else." And he was extremely happy, and they became so close, even closer than they were before.
When I came to work, as usual, it was 7:30 a.m. And when I opened the door in my office, I was really shocked, and it was really surprised for me.
Team Hampton Inn, I'm so proud of you for winning this annual Personal Touch Award. You make this place better every single day. Thank you for being family to each other and to our guests. Thank you for taking care of our guests every single day and for taking care of each other and making us all happy and have a great place to work. Congratulations.